Running late for her train, Vanessa sat in the station, even though her wedding was in 8 hours. Then suddenly she heard a voice. Fate will decide for you. Call this number and you'll understand everything. And the moment Vanessa dialed it, she almost fainted. Hello, my dears. Tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Enjoy the story. Vanessa sat on a cold bench at Penn Station, staring at the empty tracks. The train had left 5 minutes ago. She'd watched it pull away, watched the windows flash by, watched the red light on the last car fade into the distance. She had just stood there at the turnstile with her ticket in hand and watched. Didn't make it. Missed it by 10 miserable minutes. 8 hours until the wedding. Her dress was hanging at home on the closet door white, with lace her mom had spent 3 evenings hemming. The guests were already on the way from nearby towns. Her dad had been setting the tables in the yard since morning. Her mom was baking pies, her signature ones, with meat and with apples. Aunt Margaret was driving flowers from her greenhouse, and Vanessa was sitting here, in New York, at the station, and she wouldn't get home before evening. Her boss extended her business trip at the last minute. He called last night. Vanessa, there's one more meeting, really important. Tomorrow at 9, can't do it without you. She tried to explain about the wedding. He said, I get it, but it's an hour, maybe 2. You'll make the day train. She didn't. The meeting dragged until noon. The client was late. Then he spent forever reading the contract, then wanted to discuss every single point. Vanessa kept checking the time, counting minutes, while her boss shot her looks. Be patient. This is important. When it finally ended, she grabbed her bag and sprinted into the subway, pushing through crowds, running up escalators, jumping out of the train and racing across the whole station. But she was late. 10 minutes. 10 damn minutes. The next train was only in the evening. She'd arrive at 11 at night. The wedding was at 6. Vanessa pulled out her phone. Her hands were shaking so much she could barely tap the screen. She called Sylvester. Long rings. And he declined. She called again. Declined again. She tried her mom. Izzy, probably talking to guests or vendors. She called her friend. Emma should already be home. She left yesterday to help with the preparations. Rings. A lot of rings. No answer. Vanessa lowered the phone into her lap and covered her face with her hands. Tears came on their own, hot, stinging. She didn't hold back, crying like a child who got hurt on the playground. People walked by, dragging suitcases, laughing, talking on the phone. The station moved on with its own life, and Vanessa just sat there and cried. Everything was falling apart. A year of planning, a year of waiting. Sylvester proposed in the cafe where they'd met years ago. Got down on one knee, took out the ring. Vanessa said yes without hesitation. She loved him, loved his calmness, his smile, the way he hugged her in the evenings, in the kitchen. Loved their plans together. House, kids, dog, garden, simple human happiness. And now what? She was late for her own wedding. What an idiot. She should have refused the business trip. She should have said, no, I'm getting married, find someone else. But she was scared. Scared to lose her job. Scared to seem difficult. She thought she'd make it. Stupid! Don't cry, dear. Vanessa flinched. She looked up. An elderly woman was sitting beside her. Vanessa hadn't noticed when she came. The woman was wearing an old gray coat and a scarf over her head. Her face was calm and wrinkled, her eyes bright and attentive. She looked at Vanessa like she had known her all her life. I'm sorry. Vanessa wiped her cheeks with her palms. I'll calm down in a moment. No need to calm down. The woman shook her head. Sometimes tears are the right thing. They wash away what needs to go. Vanessa stared at her, confused. I missed my train, she said, simply explaining. My wedding is today. In 8 hours. And I'm here. I know, the woman nodded. How? I see things. You're in a nice outfit with a small bag, checking your watch every 2 minutes. And you're crying not out of anger, but despair. That means something very important happened. Vanessa tried to smile, but it didn't work. Her lips only twitched. I don't know what to do now. My parents will be upset. Guests arrived. Everyone prepared. And me? And you think you've lost everything. The woman finished for her. But sometimes what feels like loss is actually salvation. Vanessa frowned. I don't get it. The woman didn't answer right away. Then she reached into her coat pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. She handed it to Vanessa. Fate will decide for you. Call this number and you'll understand everything. Vanessa took the paper without thinking. She unfolded it. A phone number. handwritten in shaky but clear old-fashioned writing. What is this? Whose number? Call, and you'll learn what you need to learn. Wait, Vanessa jumped to her feet. Who are you? Where did you get this number? But the woman was already walking toward the exit, leaning on a cane Vanessa hadn't noticed before. In a minute, she disappeared into the crowd. Vanessa stood there with a paper in her hand, looked at the number, completely unfamiliar, meant nothing to her. Strange encounter. Maybe the old lady was just confused. There are plenty of those at stations handing out flyers about the end of the world, offering fortune-telling, asking for change. But this woman didn't ask for anything, just gave her the number and left. Vanessa sat back down, checked the time, 12:35. 7.5 hours until the wedding. The train was in the evening. She wasn't making it anyway. What did she have to lose by calling? She dialed. Her fingers pressed the numbers on their own. Long rings. Vanessa was already about to hang up when someone picked up. Hello? A woman's voice, sleepy, annoyed, young. Hi, Vanessa stuttered. Sorry, Someone gave me your number. Who gave it to you? The voice sharpened. Who is this? Vanessa. I don't even know why I'm calling. Some woman at the station. Vanessa? The voice cut her off. Wait, Vanessa who? Just Vanessa. Why? Silence. Long and tense. Vanessa could hear the breathing on the other end. Is this Sylvester's bride? The girl finally asked. Cold ran through Vanessa. Yes. How do you know? I know about your wedding. Her voice dropped. It's Emma. Your friend Emma, she repeated blankly. But I just called you. You didn't pick up. I know. I saw you calling. I didn't answer because I'm not alone. I'm not at home right now. I'm at Sylvester's place, his house outside the city. What? Vanessa couldn't process the words. Why are you at Sylvester's? Because we're together. Do you understand? Sylvester and I are together. It's been a year. The bench beneath Vanessa seemed to disappear. She grabbed the edge with her hand to keep from falling. What are you talking about? The truth. Emma's voice turned sharp. Listen, I didn't want you to find out like this. I was going to wait until after the wedding, but since you called, Sylvester isn't marrying you out of love, Vic. It's a deal. With your father. What deal? What are you talking about? Your father owed Sylvester money. A lot. Some old story. I didn't get all the details. Borrowed for his business, never paid back. Sylvester could have taken your house through court, but instead they made a different arrangement. Sylvester marries you, files for divorce 6 months later, and the house goes to him through the prenup. You signed a prenup, didn't you? Vanessa nodded, then realized that meant nothing over the phone. Yes, she croaked. I did. Sylvester said it was just a formality. Exactly. It says that in case of a divorce, the house goes to him. So your dad keeps a roof over his family as long as you're married, and then Sylvester gets what he's owed. You're lying. Vanessa gripped her phone so hard her knuckles went white. This is nonsense. Why are you saying this? I'm not lying. Ask your father about the debt note. Ask Sylvester why he suddenly became so caring half a year ago, why he rushed the wedding. This is all a deal, Vanessa. Business. And me. I've been with him from the start. He loves me, not you. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You're my best friend. Vanessa didn't recognize her own voice. We've been friends for years. I know. That's why this is hard. But Sylvester, he promised we'd be together after the divorce, that this was all temporary. I couldn't refuse him. Refuse? Vanessa stood up. Her legs barely held her, but she forced herself to stay upright. You slept with my fiancé and you're telling me you couldn't refuse? Vanessa, it's not that simple. Screw you both. Vanessa hung up, threw the phone into her bag. Her hands were shaking. Her whole body was shaking. She sat back down because standing was impossible. Circles floated before her eyes. Her ears were ringing. Sylvester, her Sylvester, who, 6 months ago, suddenly became incredibly attentive. Bought flowers for no reason, called 3 times a day, suggested she visit his parents' country house, introduced her to all his friends, then proposed. She thought he had finally grown serious about their relationship, thought he finally realized he wanted a family. But he had simply been hurrying to finalize the deal. Emma, her childhood friend. They went to school together, shared one sandwich at recess, slept over at each other's houses. Emma held her hand when Vanessa buried her grandmother. Vanessa sat in the hospital when Emma had her appendix removed. They applied to college together, looked for their first jobs together. And this same Emma had been sleeping with her fiancé for a year. Vanessa grabbed her phone again, dialed Sylvester. This time he picked up immediately. Vanessa, finally. Where are you? Your mom's calling. Everyone's worried. In New York. I missed the train. What? How did you miss it? The wedding is in 8 hours. What are you going to do? Tell me the truth, Sylvester. About my father's debt. About our house. About the prenup. Silence. Long as death. Who told you? He asked at last. His voice changed, cold now. It doesn't matter. Is it true? He sighed. Vanessa pictured him rubbing the bridge of his nose. He always did that when he was nervous. Vanessa, it's not as simple as someone made it sound. Yes, there was a debt. A big one. Your father borrowed money for his workshop, remember? 5 years ago, said he'd return it in a year. He didn't. I have every right to demand repayment. The house could have been sold through court, but I didn't want to do that. Your father suggested another option himself. You marry me, we live normally, and the debt is considered settled. That's fair. Fair? Vanessa laughed, dry, bitter. You plan to file for divorce in 6 months and take the house. That's fair too. It's a safety measure, Sylvester said calmly, like he was talking to a client, in case something goes wrong. But I'm not a monster. We live well. I treat you well. We could be happy. And Emma? Vanessa threw the name like a shard of glass. Is she part of the safety plan too? Another silence, longer this time. It doesn't mean anything, Sylvester said quietly. A year means nothing. It's complicated. Emma and I, it was before you, and it continued, but it wasn't about feelings. It was just, shut up. Vanessa hung up, sat up straight and wiped her face with her sleeve. The tears were gone. Inside she felt empty and cold. So cold she wanted to hide under a blanket and never get up again. She took a small mirror from her bag, looked at herself. Red eyes, smudged mascara, pale face. She looked awful, but her hands had stopped shaking. Vanessa got up, grabbed her bag, and walked to the ticket counters. 10 minutes later, she had a ticket for the evening train home. Not for the wedding. Home. To cancel this damn wedding. To cancel this damn wedding. The train was at 8. 7 hours to go. Vanessa walked out of the station and stopped on the plaza. New York buzzed around her. Cars, people, pigeons on the pavement. Life went on as usual, while Vanessa's world was falling apart. She pulled out her phone. She had to call her mom. Explain. But explain what? Mom, I'm not getting married because my fiancé doesn't love me, and Dad basically sold me to pay off a debt. Sounds like a bad soap opera. Vanessa dialed. Her mom picked up after the 3rd ring. Vanessa, finally. Where are you? Sylvester says you missed the train. Her mom's voice was worried but calm. She was always calm. Even when Vanessa's father ended up in the hospital with a heart attack, her mom didn't yell, didn't panic. She simply packed a bag and went. Mom, I'm in New York. I missed it. The next train is in the evening. Oh God, Vanessa, the guests are already arriving. Aunt Susan came from Albany, Uncle Philip with his family. The tables are set. What are we supposed to do now? Mom, there won't be a wedding. Silence. Long. Vanessa could hear a cabinet door close somewhere on the other end. What? What are you saying? There won't be a wedding. I'm not marrying Sylvester. Vanessa, honey, I know you're upset that you missed the train, but that's no reason to... Mom, he doesn't love me. He's marrying me because of Dad's debt, to take our house. Another silence. Even longer this time. Where did you get that from? Her mother's voice changed, soft, careful. Someone told me. Is it true? Who told you? It doesn't matter. Is it true, Mom? Vanessa heard her mother sigh. Then footsteps. She must have stepped out of the kitchen so no one would overhear. Vanessa, your father meant well. He couldn't pay back the money. Sylvester could have taken us to court. We would have lost the house. And Sylvester is a good guy. We thought you'd get married and everything would turn out fine. Fine? Vanessa gripped the phone tighter. You sold me, Mom. Don't say that. Her mom's voice jumped, then softened again. We wanted to protect you, to give you a stable family. Sylvester promised he would take care of you. And the fact that I love him and he doesn't love me, that didn't bother you? Love grows, Vanessa. Your father and I didn't marry for love either. Our parents introduced us, and then we fell in love. That was the past, Mom. Times are different now. Vanessa, wait. Don't make any decisions while you're emotional. Come home. We'll talk calmly, with your father, with Sylvester. Maybe it's not as bad as... It's exactly that bad. Worse, actually. Sylvester is sleeping with Emma. For a year. Her mother gasped. With your Emma? Your friend? Yes, my best friend. For a year they've been lying to me, and so have you, and everyone else, and I just trusted like an idiot. Vanessa, sweetheart. Mom, cancel the wedding. Tell the guests I'm sick, tell them anything, but I'm not coming. Not today. But where will you go? You have work tomorrow. I don't care about work. I'll take time off. I need to think. Vanessa, please don't do anything foolish. The foolish thing was what I almost did today. Marry someone who's been using me. Vanessa hung up. Her hands were shaking again. She leaned against the station wall and closed her eyes. She wanted the ground to swallow her whole. She wanted to disappear, wake up in another life where none of this was happening. Her phone buzzed. Sylvester. Vanessa declined. It buzzed again. Declined. Then a text. Vanessa, let's meet and talk. I'll come to New York. I'll explain everything. Vanessa blocked his number. Then she blocked Emma. Then she turned off her phone entirely. A few hours until the train. What do you even do for a few hours in New York? Vanessa looked around. A small cafe stood across the street, nothing fancy, plastic chairs, a menu taped to the wall. She walked in, sat by the window, ordered tea and a sandwich. When the waitress brought the food, Vanessa realized she hadn't eaten all morning. Her stomach was empty, but she didn't feel hungry. She watched people outside and sipped her hot tea. People rushed past, each with their own life, their own problems, their own happiness or heartbreak. Vanessa remembered how 6 months ago Sylvester first kissed her in the rain. It had felt so real, but it was all an act. He'd been playing the role of a loving fiancé just to get the house. She remembered how 6 months ago he suddenly started pushing for the wedding. Before that, he always joked about it, said there was no rush, they were fine as they were. And then suddenly, let's get married, let me introduce you to my parents, let's pick a date, let's make a guest list. She was thrilled, thought he'd finally matured, but he had just wanted to close the deal faster. And Emma, who helped her choose a wedding dress, sat in the fitting room and said, not this one, try another. Emma, who made the guest list with her. Emma, who was supposed to be her maid of honor. All that time she was sleeping with Sylvester. Vanessa imagined them laughing together behind her back. Emma telling Sylvester that Vanessa picked shoes 2 sizes too big because she was scared her feet would swell from nerves. Imagine them kissing after Vanessa went home. Nausea rose to her throat. She pushed the cup away. A woman walked into the cafe with a child. A boy, maybe 5, in a blue jacket. They sat at the next table. The boy wanted ice cream. His mom said it was cold. He'd get sick. The boy pouted. His mom laughed and ordered the ice cream anyway. Just an ordinary moment. A mother and her son. Everyday life. Vanessa watched them and thought, that's what her life was supposed to look like in a few years. A kid, a family, weekend cafes. And now none of that would happen, because she'd almost married someone who didn't love her. What if she had caught the train? What if she arrived on time, put on her dress, walked down the aisle? Would she ever find out the truth? Or would she live in a marriage not knowing her husband slept with her friend and was counting down the days until he could file for divorce? That strange old woman at the station. How did she know? How did she have Emma's number? Was that even real, or did Vanessa imagine it? Vanessa turned her phone back on. 10 missed calls from Sylvester, 5 from Emma, 3 from her mom, 2 from her dad. Her dad never called without a reason, so Mom must have told him. Vanessa opened the messages. From Sylvester. Vanessa, none of this is true. Let's talk. I love you. Believe me, Emma is lying. She's jealous. From Emma. I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you. It's more complicated than I said. From her mom. Sweetheart, we canceled the wedding, told the guests you're sick. Come home. From her dad. Vanessa, forgive an old fool. I thought I was doing the right thing. Vanessa turned off the phone again. She didn't want to talk to anyone, didn't want to explain, or listen, or comfort anyone. She just wanted to sit and look out the window. But sitting became unbearable. She paid and stepped outside, walked wherever her feet took her. New York was huge, loud, and unfamiliar. Vanessa had been here for work a few times, but never just wandered around. She walked past storefronts, clothing shops, cafes, pharmacies, bookstores. People rushed back and forth. Life was busy and bright, and Vanessa walked through it all, feeling like a ghost. Like she was there, but not really. An hour later, she found herself in a park. Fall had painted the trees yellow and red. Leaves rustled under her feet. The air smelled of rain and damp earth. Vanessa sat on a bench. An old man nearby was feeding pigeons. They pushed each other, cooed, grabbed crumbs. Greedy little things, the old man said to Vanessa. No matter how much you give, it's never enough. Vanessa nodded. She didn't feel like talking, but the man seemed kind. No questions, no pressure. You from New York? He asked. No, from Westchester. Ah, a visitor. Here on business? For work, Vanessa lied. Work's a good thing. Gives stability. Young folks nowadays jump around too much. One thing today, another tomorrow. They don't appreciate stability. Vanessa almost smiled. Stability? That was exactly what she'd wanted. Get married, have kids, live in her own house. A simple, steady life. But stability had turned out to be an illusion. And you? Have you lived in New York long? She asked, mostly to keep the conversation going. All my life. Born here, grew up here, worked at the factory 30 years. Now I'm retired. I walk around, feed the pigeons. Wife passed away 5 years ago. Kids grew up, moved away. Grandkids visit once a year. That's life. He spoke calmly, without self-pity, just telling the truth. Don't you get lonely? Vanessa asked. I do, he nodded. But what can you do? That's life. There was family, there was work, now there's loneliness. But I'm not complaining. At least I had all that. Some people don't even get that much. Vanessa thought of the family she never even got a chance to build, lost before it even existed. Did you at least marry for love? She asked suddenly. The old man looked at her closely. For love. We met at a dance club. She was so beautiful, wearing a white dress. I fell for her right away, chased her for a long time. She didn't agree at first, said I was too simple, just a factory worker, and she came from an educated family. But I won her over. We married, lived together many years, loved each other all that time. Love changes, you know. First it's passion, butterflies, all that. Then it's routine, comfort. Then respect, understanding. We argued, of course. She'd scold me for earning too little. I'd scold her for spending too much. But we never thought about leaving. Family isn't about perfect love. It's about standing together, good times and bad. Vanessa nodded. She wanted to ask, and what if there's no love at all? What if everything is built on lies? But she stayed quiet. You're sad today, the old man said. I can see it. Something happened? The wedding fell apart, Vanessa said flatly, without emotion, as if talking about someone else's life. Oh, the old man shook his head. That's rough. Groom changed his mind? I changed mine. I found something out. Then you did the right thing. Better before than after. Yeah. Vanessa stood. Thank you. For what? For the conversation. The old man smiled and went back to feeding the pigeons. Vanessa kept walking. Time dragged. She wandered into a bookstore, walked between the shelves, picked up books, read the blurbs, put them back. Nothing held her attention. Her mind was far away. Then she stepped into a small church. Not because she was religious, she just saw the steeple and walked in. Inside it was quiet, smelled of incense and candle wax. A few people were lighting candles. Vanessa bought one too, placed it in front of an icon. She didn't pray, just stood there watching the flame. Are you all right, miss? A church worker asked. Vanessa blinked, realizing she'd been standing motionless for 10 minutes. I'm fine, thank you. She stepped back outside. It was dark, streetlights glowed. The city shifted into its evening rhythm. Vanessa checked the time. Late evening. Nearly time for her train. She walked slowly toward the station, bought a bottle of water and a chocolate bar at a kiosk. Her stomach was still empty, but at least she felt a little hungry now. The station was crowded. Families saying goodbye. Is this traveler's rushing? Vanessa went to the platform and found her car. The train was already there. She climbed aboard. A 4-berth compartment. Empty for now. Vanessa placed her bag on the shelf and sat by the window. She watched the platform and wondered what she would even say to her parents. How she would live after this. Her phone vibrated again. She turned it on a minute ago just to check the train time. A message from an unknown number. You made the right choice. Now keep going. Vanessa frowned. Who was that? The number wasn't familiar. She typed back, who are you? No reply. A minute later, another message appeared. The same woman from the station. Take care, girl. There's a lot of good ahead. Vanessa stared at the screen. How did that old woman get her number? And why text now? She wanted to ask, but the train jerked and started moving. New York slid past the window lights, buildings, bridges. Vanessa leaned her forehead against the cold glass and closed her eyes. Home. She was going home. But what was waiting for her there? She arrived late at night. The train rolled through darkness, past small stations and forests. Two middle-aged women joined her compartment halfway and spent the whole trip discussing grocery prices and health problems. Vanessa pretended to sleep. She didn't want to talk. Her father was waiting at the station, standing by the exit in his old jacket. No hat. When he saw Vanessa, he walked toward her. His face looked tired, his eyes red. Older than she remembered. Vanessa. He hugged her tight, awkwardly. He was never a very affectionate man, but now he held her like he was afraid to let go. Forgive me, sweetheart. Forgive this old fool. Vanessa pressed her face into his shoulder. The smell of tobacco and cologne. Familiar, comforting. Tears rose again, but she held them back. Let's go home, Dad. The car was old and the heater barely worked. Vanessa pulled her jacket tighter. Her father stayed silent behind the wheel. Only when they reached the highway did he finally speak. I really thought I was doing the right thing. Sylvester seemed like a good guy. Steady job, decent apartment, doesn't drink, doesn't fool around. I thought you'd get married and live a normal life. And the debt. I truly couldn't repay it. The workshop didn't take off. The economy tanked. Barely any orders. I took out loans just to stay afloat. And Sylvester started pressuring us. Said he'd take us to court. Said he'd take the house. Your mother cried every night. Then he offered that deal himself. He suggested marrying me. Vanessa turned to her father. Yes, he said, let's solve this peacefully. Vanessa is a good girl. I've liked her for a long time. I'll marry her. We'll consider the debt paid off. I honestly thought he loved you. I swear, Vanessa, I had no idea about Emma. And I didn't know about the divorce plan. And the prenup? You knew about that? Her father tightened his grip on the wheel. I did. Sylvester said it was standard procedure, like, if things don't work out, everyone keeps what's theirs. I didn't dig deeper. I thought you two wouldn't get divorced anyway. Vanessa leaned back into her seat. She wanted to be angry at him, but she couldn't. He had been trying to save their family, poorly, stupidly, but trying. Dad, how much did you owe him? $120,000. Vanessa let out a low whistle. That's a lot. A lot, her father agreed. Our house is worth about $150. Sylvester could have taken it to court, taken the house, sold it. We would have ended up on the street. And now what? He'll still demand the money. He will, but I'll talk to a lawyer. Maybe we can negotiate payments. We'll figure something out. They drove into town, a quiet provincial place, painfully familiar. Vanessa was born here, grew up here, went to school here. Every street, every house meant something. She'd left that morning in a white blazer, happy, thinking about her wedding. And now she was returning at night, shattered, hollow inside. Their house stood on the edge of town, a two-story place, old but solid. Her father had built it himself, with his own hands 20 years ago. Vanessa remembered carrying bricks with the whole family, mixing the cement. Her mother painting the walls. Vanessa and her younger brother planting trees in the yard. Her brother had long since moved away to study and work. He came home rarely, but the house remained, and that was the house Sylvester wanted to take. Her mother waited on the porch in a robe, a shawl around her shoulders. When she saw Vanessa, she threw up her hands and rushed into her arms. My baby, my girl. How could this happen? How did everything go so wrong? Vanessa hugged her mother and finally cried, quietly without sobs, just tears. Her mother led her inside, sat her at the kitchen table, poured tea, cut a piece of pie. Eat, eat, Vanessa. You haven't eaten all day. Vanessa ate obediently. The pie was warm, apple-filled, delicious. Tea with raspberries. Her mother sat beside her, stroking her hand, her eyes full of pain and guilt. Mom, don't blame yourself, Vanessa said. You're not the ones at fault. Sylvester is, and Emma, that snake. Her mother clenched her fists. All these years, I treated her like family, fed her, welcomed her, let her sleep over. And she betrayed us. She said she loved him, Vanessa said, finishing her tea. That he loved her. That I was just part of a deal. Absolute nonsense. Her father sat down at the table. Love can't be built on lies. Real love means being honest, being open, not doing things behind someone's back. Vanessa nodded. The words were right, but they didn't make it hurt any less. How did the guests react? She asked. Upset, of course, her mother sighed. But they understood. We told everyone you got sick. We didn't tell the real reason. And Sylvester? He came by, her mother said. A few hours ago, wanted to talk to you. I threw him out, told him he's not welcome here ever again. Vanessa pictured her tiny, slender mother throwing Sylvester out. almost smiled. He called many times, her mother continued. Texted too. I didn't answer. Eventually he stopped. Emma came, her father added, crying, asking for forgiveness. Said she'd explain everything. I told her the same thing I told Sylvester. Get out and don't come back. A warm wave rolled through Vanessa. Her parents were on her side. They didn't ask her to forgive, to fix things, to reconsider. They just accepted her decision and supported her. Thank you, she whispered. For what, Vanessa? Her mother stroked her hand again. We're your parents. We're always on your side. They sat in the kitchen for a while longer, drinking tea, talking about little things. Then Vanessa went to her room. She hadn't lived here in 5 years. She rented an apartment closer to work, but the room was unchanged. Narrow bed, old wardrobe, a desk by the window, posters on the walls from bands she'd listened to as a teenager. Vanessa undressed, got under the blanket. The pillow smelled like home fresh sheets, her mom's detergent. Trees rustled outside. Quiet, peaceful. Vanessa closed her eyes and fell asleep instantly. She woke late, almost noon. Sunlight streamed through the window. Crows cawed outside. Vanessa lay there, staring at the ceiling, remembering yesterday. The station, the phone calls, the betrayal. Had it all really happened? She went downstairs. Her mother was frying pancakes. You're awake, sweetheart? Sit. Eat. Vanessa sat. Ate pancakes with honey, thinking about what to do next. She had to go back to work the day after tomorrow. Her boss had given her 3 days for the wedding and a short honeymoon. Now there would be no honeymoon. She'd need to figure out what to tell her coworkers. Mom, does everyone in town already know? That the wedding's canceled? Probably. You know how fast word spreads here. By lunchtime, the whole town will know. Vanessa nodded. Great. Now everyone will whisper. Pitying me. Judging me. Poor Vanessa, her groom dumped her right before the wedding. Or, poor Vanessa, she ran away. Or worse, she's probably pregnant with someone else. Let them talk, her mother said, as if reading her mind. They'll gossip for a bit and forget. In a month, they'll move on to something else. After breakfast, Vanessa got dressed and went for a walk. Just walking around town with no goal. She passed the central square, the park, the shops. She saw a few familiar faces. Everyone greeted her politely, but with the same curious look. Vanessa answered briefly and kept going. She stopped by the little library on Oak Street. She had spent half her childhood there, reading books in a corner by the window. The librarian, Mrs. Reed, recognized her instantly. Vanessa, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you, dear? I'm fine, Mrs. Reed. I heard the wedding didn't happen. You got sick? Yes, I got sick. Well, health comes first. You'll get better, and you'll have your wedding another time. Vanessa didn't argue. She picked a random book from the shelf, sat in her old corner, and opened it. A mystery novel. She read, but nothing stuck. The words blurred, her mind drifted. The library was quiet. Smelled like old books and dust. Mrs. Reed sat at the desk, knitting. Occasionally, someone came in to borrow a book. Vanessa just stared out the window. An hour later, a man walked in. Tall, slim, wearing a sweater and jeans, maybe 35. Calm, serious face. He approached the desk, greeted Mrs. Reed, and asked about a book on architectural history. Let me check, Charlie, Mrs. Reed said, digging through the catalog. It should be here. Oh, found it. But Michael took it last week. He'll bring it back soon. No problem. I'll wait. The man sat at the table across from Vanessa. He took out a notebook and started writing. Vanessa glanced at him discreetly. Long fingers, a small ink stain on his index finger. He wrote with a pen, not typing on a phone. Rare these days. The man lifted his head and caught her stare. Vanessa blushed and looked away, pretending to read. A few minutes later he spoke. Sorry, do you know if the library is open on Saturdays? Vanessa looked up. I think so, until 3. Thanks. I'm new here, still figuring out the schedule. You're new in town. Yes, moved a month ago. I work at the museum. As a restorer. Oh, I see. Vanessa lowered her eyes again. She didn't want to chat, but the man seemed friendly. And you're local? He asked. Yes, born here. Then you must know the town well. Any recommendations for a decent lunch spot? Some good cafe? Vanessa thought for a moment. There's a cafe on Main Street, the corner. The food's good. Prices are reasonable. Thanks. I'll check it out. He bent over his notebook again. Vanessa watched him once more. Just an ordinary man. Nothing remarkable. But something about him felt calming. He wasn't pushy, didn't pry, just quietly worked. She stayed in the library until lunch. Then she headed home. Her mother was making soup. Her father was in the shed fixing something, an ordinary day, as if nothing had happened. But everything had. In the evening, Vanessa turned on her phone. Hundreds of messages. Sylvester, Emma, co-workers, distant relatives. Everyone wrote the same thing. What happened? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Vanessa opened the chat with her friend Nicole, who lived in New York. They'd met at some courses and stayed in touch. Nicole, can I come stay with you for a week? The reply came a minute later. Of course. What happened? I'll tell you when I get there. All right. You remember the address? I do. Thanks. Vanessa closed her phone. The decision had made itself. She had to leave, at least for a week, away from this town, from gossip, from questions, just to be alone, to think. She went downstairs to the kitchen where her parents were having dinner. Mom, Dad, I'm going to New York tomorrow. Just stay with a friend for a week. Her mother looked worried. Vanessa? What about work? I'll take sick leave. I'll say I really am sick, because honestly, I am. Maybe not physically, but mentally. Her father nodded. Good. Go, rest. Maybe it'll help. Vanessa went to bed early. Tomorrow she was heading back to New York. This time for a different reason. Not for work. Not for a wedding. Just to get away. In the morning, she packed a small bag. Her mother stuffed a container of cookies into her hands. Eat on the way. And give some to Nicole. Her father drove her to the station. Hugged her before she boarded. Stay strong, sweetheart. Everything will be all right. The train to New York took 4 hours. Vanessa sat by the window, watching fields and small towns rush by. She thought about what came next. She'd probably have to change jobs. Everyone at the office knew about Sylvester. There would be questions, looks, sympathy. She didn't want any of that. Maybe she should just move to New York for good, find a job there, rent a place, start fresh. In New York, Nicole greeted her with open arms. Tell me everything, she demanded the moment they stepped inside the apartment. Vanessa told her everything. Missing the train, the strange old woman, the call from Emma, Sylvester's lies, the debt. Nicole listened, gasped, swore under her breath. What a bunch of bastards, she concluded. Every single one of them. That Sylvester of yours, and that fake friend. I know. Vanessa gave a tired smile. Now I know. What are you going to do? I don't know. For now, just stay here. Think. Maybe start looking for a new job. Good. And don't you dare talk to them again. Block them and forget they exist. Nicole turned out to be exactly the friend Vanessa needed. She didn't pity her or dramatize. She distracted her. Dragged her to the movies, to cafes, on walks around the city. Told funny stories about her coworkers, cooked dinners, and made Vanessa eat. The week went by quickly. Vanessa slowly began to breathe again. The pain didn't disappear, but it softened. It no longer drowned her. On the 8th day, while she and Nicole were sitting in a cafe, Vanessa suddenly noticed a familiar figure outside. A woman in a gray coat and headscarf, the same woman from the station. Vanessa jumped up and ran outside. The woman was walking slowly, leaning on a cane. Wait! Vanessa caught up with her. Do you remember me? The woman turned, her gaze calm and steady. I remember, girl. How are you? There was no wedding. I found out everything. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank fate. I just helped a little. How did you know? How did you have Emma's number? The woman chuckled. I know a lot of things. I've lived a long time, watched people. Sometimes I see what's about to happen and try to help. A fortune teller. No, just an old woman with life experience. I had a similar story once. Long ago, I was deceived too, but I found out too late after the wedding. Lived 5 years in an unhappy marriage. So now, when I see someone walking the same path, I try to warn them. How did you know about me? I saw you at the station and realized you were rushing to your wedding. And around you, there was a darkness, a worry. I felt something was wrong. Your friend Emma called me an hour earlier. By accident, she dialed the wrong number. I heard her talking to someone about a wedding, about lies. I put 2 and 2 together and decided to help me? I did. Sorry if I scared you. Vanessa shook her head. You saved me. Thank you, the woman nodded. Go live your life, girl. You'll find real happiness. The true kind. She walked on. Vanessa watched her disappear around the corner. Nicole ran out after her. What happened? Who was that? A guardian angel, Vanessa said with a smile. A real one. Vanessa returned home 10 days later. By then, she felt a little steadier. The pain had dulled, no longer tearing her apart, just lingering quietly somewhere deep inside. She went back to work with a sick leave note. The doctor had signed 2 weeks without asking questions. Vanessa handed the paperwork to accounting. Her coworkers looked at her with curiosity but didn't ask directly. Only Ruth from the next department approached her at lunch. "Vanessa, how are you? I heard the wedding didn't happen." "Yes, it didn't." "What happened?" "It just didn't work out." Ruth nodded knowingly. "Better before than after." "Good thing you realized in time." Vanessa blinked, surprised. Ruth didn't pry, didn't pity her, just stated the obvious. It was strangely comforting. Work helped. Documents, calls, client meetings, her mind stayed busy, leaving no room to think about Sylvester and Emma. In the evenings, she went back to her rented apartment, made something simple for dinner, watched a show, and went to sleep. Sylvester called every day for the first 2 weeks. Vanessa never answered. Then he started texting. Long messages explaining, justifying, begging to meet. Vanessa skimmed them and deleted them. Emma showed up at her door one evening. Vanessa opened it and froze. Emma stood on the threshold, pale, red-eyed. "Vanessa, please hear me out." "No. Please, 5 minutes." "No, Emma, go away. I know I did a terrible thing, but it's not what you think. Sylvester told me you two had broken up, that the wedding was canceled. I didn't know he was lying." Vanessa laughed, a cold, bitter laugh. "A whole year, Emma. A whole year you slept with my fiancé, and now you say you didn't know." He told me you were just friends, that the wedding was for your parents, that I was the one he truly loved. And you believed him? Vanessa, we've been friends for 20 years. You saw how I loved him, and you still stayed quiet." Emma burst into tears. "Forgive me. I was stupid. I thought I loved him. But now I see it was just passion, stupidity. Vanessa, forgive me. Please. You're my best friend. You were. Not anymore. Leave, Emma, and don't come back." Vanessa closed the door. She sank to the floor, leaning against the wall. Her hands trembled. Her insides boiled. Anger, hurt, betrayal. Emma cried behind the door for 10 minutes, then left. Vanessa never saw her again. A month passed. Vanessa slowly settled into a new rhythm. Work, home, occasional visits to her parents. No parties, no dates, just a quiet existence. On Saturdays, she went to the library. It became a routine. She'd take books and read in her old corner. Mrs. Reed was always happy to see her. "Vanessa, I'm so glad you've started coming again. Haven't seen you here in ages." "Missed the books," Vanessa would say. Charlie, the restorer, came often, too. He worked at the museum across the street and stopped by during lunch breaks. Sometimes they exchanged a few words. Nothing special. "How are you? What's the weather? What are you reading?" But slowly, their conversations grew longer. One Saturday, while Vanessa was reading yet another mystery novel, Charlie sat down across from her. "Mind if I join?" "Of course not." He took out a notebook and started sketching something with a pencil. Vanessa watched discreetly. The drawing was detailed, some kind of carved architectural element. "It's beautiful," she said. Charlie lifted his eyes. "Thank you. It's a carving from an altar. I'm restoring it from old photographs." "That must be difficult." "Hard, yes, but interesting. When you see beauty coming back to life from broken pieces, it's inspiring." Vanessa nodded. Beauty from broken pieces. A comforting thought. "How long have you been doing this?" she asked. "About 10 years, studied in New York, worked there too, but I got tired of the rush. Decided to move to a smaller town. It's quieter here." "And do you like it here?" "It's peaceful. People are friendly. I haven't made friends yet, though. Everyone already has their own circles, hard to get in." "That's true. In small towns, everyone grows up together. Hard for newcomers." Charlie smiled. "That's all right. I'm patient." They fell quiet for a moment. Then Vanessa asked, "Do you have a family? A wife? Kids?" "I was married once. We divorced 3 years ago. No kids. And you?" Vanessa hesitated. "I canceled my wedding recently, right before the ceremony." Charlie looked at her carefully but didn't push. "And you must have had your reasons." "I did." "Then you did the right thing." Vanessa blinked. He didn't ask what happened, didn't pity her, just stated it simply. Like Ruth at work. Refreshing. "Thank you." "For what?" "For not asking unnecessary questions." Charlie smirked softly. "I don't like people digging into my soul, so I try not to dig into others." They kept talking. Turns out Charlie loved classical music, went to the theater, read historical novels. Vanessa loved reading too. They exchanged book recommendations. From that day on, they saw each other in the library more often. Sometimes they just sat silently, each with their own book. Sometimes they talked. Nothing deep, just two people who felt comfortable around each other. Vanessa found herself waiting for Saturdays. Not because she liked Charlie romantically, she wasn't ready for that, but because being around him felt peaceful. He didn't demand anything, didn't push, didn't pry. He just existed beside her, quietly and gently. One day, at the end of November, when the first snow dusted the streets, Charlie asked, "Vanessa, would you like to go somewhere? Maybe a cafe? Or a movie?" Vanessa froze. It sounded like a date. She wasn't ready. "I don't know, Charlie. It's too soon for me." "I understand. Just as friends. No pressure. Just coffee and a conversation somewhere else." Vanessa thought, why not? She wasn't promising anything. Just coffee. All right, let's go to the cafe on Main Street, the one I told you about. Perfect. Sunday at 3? Deal. On Sunday, Vanessa spent a long time deciding what to wear. She finally settled on jeans and a sweater. Nothing special. Just meeting a friend. Charlie was already waiting by the entrance, in a dark blue coat and a scarf. He greeted her and held the door open. They sat by the window, ordered coffee and pastries. "You were right," Charlie said, looking around the cafe. "Cozy place. I've been coming here since I was a kid. Mrs. Burton, the owner, she even remembers my parents." They talked about little things. Charlie told her about his work, about how he restored an old church in a nearby county, how he found tiny fragments of frescoes and slowly pieced them together. "It's like a puzzle," he explained. "Thousands of pieces, and you have to figure out where each one belongs. Sometimes you spend weeks finding one fragment. Doesn't that get frustrating?" "No. Actually, when everything finally fits, it's an incredible feeling, like you brought something lost back to life." Vanessa listened and thought how much she wished she could do the same, piece her own life back together, find the pieces she'd lost, return to who she used to be. "And what do you do?" Charlie asked. "You work, right?" "Yes, I'm a manager at a construction company. Contracts, budgets, clients, it's boring, honestly." "You don't like your job?" "It's not that I don't like it. It just doesn't make me happy. It's just money, stability." "What would make you happy?" Vanessa thought about it. A strange question. She hadn't really let herself think about that in a long time. "I don't know. I used to want to open my own shop, sell handmade things, jewelry, clothes, home decor. But it's risky, takes a lot of money. I never dared." "Why not?" "I was scared it wouldn't work, that I'd fail, end up without a job or savings." "And now?" "Now I'm still scared," Vanessa admitted with a crooked smile. "Fear doesn't just disappear. Sometimes fear is a sign that you should try," Charlie said quietly. "If you're not afraid of anything, it means you don't care." Vanessa studied him more carefully. He spoke calmly, without pressure, just sharing a thought. "Maybe you're right." They sat in the cafe for 2 hours. Vanessa didn't even notice how fast the time went. Being with Charlie was easy. He didn't try to impress her, didn't act like he knew everything. He was just himself, and that made her feel comfortable. When they stepped outside, Vanessa realized she was smiling. For the first time in 2 months. "Thank you, Charlie. I had a great time." "Me too. Maybe we could do it again sometime?" "Sure." They exchanged numbers and said goodbye. Vanessa walked home, thinking that life was slowly, carefully coming back together. December passed quietly. Vanessa met Charlie once a week. Cafes, long walks, even a visit to the small local theater. She felt herself growing attached to him, but in a different way. Not the fiery, overwhelming kind she once experienced. Something calm, warm. Charlie never rushed anything. You didn't talk about feelings, didn't try to hug or kiss her. He simply stayed close. And that was exactly what Vanessa needed. For Christmas, her parents invited her home. Vanessa went. Her mom set the table. Her dad brought in a little tree fluffy, decorated with Vanessa's childhood ornaments. Her brother called on video chat to say Merry Christmas. "Vanessa, how are you? Mom says you're doing better." "I am," she said. "Everything's fine." "That jerk isn't bothering you anymore?" "No, he shut up." "Good, otherwise I'd come over and deal with him." Her brother raised a fist to prove it. Vanessa smiled. He was 5 years younger, but always felt like her protector. After midnight, when her parents went to bed, Vanessa sat in the kitchen, drinking tea and looking at the snowy yard outside. A year ago on this night, she'd been at Sylvester's apartment. They'd spent Christmas together, kissed under the tree. Made wishes. Vanessa had wished for them to get married and be happy. That wish didn't come true, but she at least learned the truth. Better that than living in a lie. Her phone buzzed. A message from Charlie. "Merry Christmas, Vanessa. I hope you find whatever you're looking for." Vanessa smiled and replied, "Thank you, Charlie. Wishing you the same." A moment later, another message came. "By the way, are you traveling anywhere for the holidays?" "No, I'm staying home. I have an idea. Can I call you tomorrow?" "Sure." Vanessa put her phone down. She wondered what he had in mind. The next day, Charlie called. "Vanessa, I was thinking, maybe we could take a small trip for a couple of days to a nearby state, maybe. There's an 18th century estate I've been wanting to visit. But going alone is no fun." Vanessa hesitated. A trip for a few days, that was more serious than grabbing coffee. "Charlie, I'm not sure. I understand your hesitation, but I mean it as a cultural trip. 2 separate hotel rooms, no pressure at all. Just a nice way to spend time." Vanessa thought, why not? She hadn't gone anywhere in ages, and she did love historic estates. "All right, let's try it." "Great, I'll take care of everything." They left on January 3rd. Charlie rented a car. The drive took 3 hours. They listened to music and talked. Vanessa told him about her childhood, school, college. Charlie told stories about restoration work. The estate was beautiful. An old building with columns, a park, a pond lined with reeds. Everything covered in snow. Like a fairy tale, they checked into a small hotel nearby. 2 rooms, just like Charlie promised. They had lunch at a local restaurant, then walked around the estate. The tour guide, an elderly woman, talked passionately about the house's history. Who lived there? What balls were held? Which famous guests had visited? Vanessa listened only half-heartedly, more focused on the atmosphere. In the evening, they sat in the hotel bar. Vanessa sipped mulled wine. Charlie had tea. "I really enjoy your company." "Me too. I haven't relaxed like this in a long time." "Vanessa, can I ask something personal?" Vanessa tensed a little. "Go ahead. What happened with your wedding, if it's not a secret?" Vanessa froze. She hadn't told anyone about it except Nicole and her parents. But Charlie wasn't asking out of curiosity. He genuinely wanted to understand. "My fiancé lied to me. He was marrying me for money, for our house. And I thought he loved me." Charlie nodded slowly. "That must have hurt." "It did, especially when I found out he'd been sleeping with my best friend for a year." "Jesus, exactly." Charlie was quiet for a moment. "You know, Vanessa, I get it. My wife cheated on me too. For 2 years. With my friend, actually. I found out by accident. Walked into a cafe and saw them together. They didn't even bother to hide, figured I was away on a business trip." "What did you do?" "Filed for divorce. Right away. No talking, no explanations. Just filed the papers and moved out." She tried to explain, justify herself. "But I didn't want explanations. Trust was gone. That's it. The end." "And did it take you long to get over it?" "A year, maybe. Then it passed. I realized it was just experience. Painful but necessary. It taught me who I could trust and who I couldn't." Vanessa nodded. She was also relearning trust, and not doing well so far. "Charlie, thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening." They finished their drinks and went to their rooms. Vanessa lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Charlie. He'd been deceived too. He had survived betrayal. And now, like her, he was building a new life carefully, step by step. Maybe that's why they fit together. 2 cautious souls with scars. Neither rushing. Both healing. They returned from the trip in good spirits. Vanessa felt something had shifted between them. A closeness, not physical, but emotional. They understood each other without needing to explain. January crawled by. Cold, short days, gray skies. Vanessa worked, met with Charlie, visited her parents. A simple, steady life. At the end of the month, her boss called her in. "Vanessa, have a seat." "I want to talk." She sat down. Mr. Marles, around 50, heavy-set with graying temples, managed their team firmly but fairly. "You've been with us 7 years," he began. "You're good at what you do. Clients like you, but I can see you're not passionate about your work. Am I right?" Vanessa was caught off guard. She hadn't expected this conversation. "I try to do my job well." "You do, but your heart isn't in it. It used to be, now you're on autopilot. I know you had personal issues. The wedding fell apart. That's hard. But time passes. You need to decide what comes next. What do you mean? Either you bring back your spark, or think about whether this is still the right job for you. I'm not firing you. Don't misunderstand. I'm giving you advice. Don't waste your life on something that brings you no joy. Vanessa nodded. He was right. Work had become a weight on her shoulders. She showed up, did her tasks, left. No satisfaction. I'll think about it, Mr. Marles. Thank you for being honest. Take your time. And if you decide to leave, tell me in advance. I'll give you a month to find a replacement. No hard feelings. Vanessa left the office shaken. Leave? But where would she go? Another job would be the same grind, same paperwork, different office. That evening she met Charlie. They walked along the riverfront. The river was frozen, covered in snow. Streetlights shimmered on the icy surface. I had a strange conversation with my boss today, Vanessa said. He hinted I should maybe look for another job. He wants to fire you? No. He just said I'm wasting my time, that I'm not passionate about it. And what do you think? I don't know. On one hand, it's stable, pays well. On the other, he's right. I'm bored. It all feels the same. Charlie stopped and looked out at the frozen river. You know, Vanessa, I used to work a job I hated too. In New York, big company, good salary, growing career. But every morning I woke up with this heaviness in my chest. I didn't want to go there. One day I asked myself, why? Life is short. Why spend it on something that drains you? And you quit? I moved here. Started restoring old buildings. I make less money, but I'm happy. But you had a goal. You knew what you wanted. I don't. Then find it. You mentioned to shop handmade stuff. That's a dream. An impossible one. Why impossible? Need money? Start small. Sell online. It's easy now. A social media page, photos of your pieces, delivery. Try it. If it fails, at least you'll know you tried. Vanessa thought about it. He was right. She could try without quitting her job. A small test run. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? Charlie smiled. You won't know until you try. At home, Vanessa pulled out an old sketchbook. Back in college, she used to draw jewelry, earrings, bracelets, pendants. Simple but beautiful pieces. Her friends used to ask her to make them as gifts. Later, she'd abandoned it, too busy. She opened the sketchbook and flipped through the pages. The drawings were good. Maybe she could try. The next day, she ordered supplies online. Beads, wire, findings, a small starter set. When the package arrived, Vanessa sat down at her desk and started weaving. Her hands remembered everything. Her fingers moved on their own, stringing beads, shaping wire, forming patterns. 2 hours later, her first pair of earrings was finished. Vanessa held them up to the light. Beautiful, neat. She made a few more pairs, then a bracelet, then a pendant. By the end of the week, she had around 15 pieces. Vanessa took photos, uploaded them to a page on social media, wrote descriptions, set prices. A day later, the first order came in. A girl from a nearby town wanted the earrings. Vanessa packaged them carefully and sent them by mail. She waited for the review as if waiting for a verdict. The review was ecstatic. The girl posted a photo wearing the earrings and tagged Vanessa's page. 3 more orders followed. Vanessa couldn't believe it. It was working. People were actually buying. Every evening after work, she sat down to make jewelry. She'd come home, eat, and then sit at her desk. Her fingers flew, beads falling into patterns. It calmed her. Her thoughts quieted, leaving only creativity. After a month, she had so many orders she could barely keep up. She worked late into the night, barely slept, but she felt alive. For the first time in a long time, she was excited. Charlie noticed the change. Your eyes are glowing, he told her one evening. I haven't seen you like this in a long time. I love it, Vanessa admitted. I really love it. I'm making something with my own hands. People buy it, wear it. It feels amazing. Then maybe you should take the leap. Quit your job and focus on this. That's terrifying. What if the orders stop? They won't. I can see how you work. You've got talent and discipline. That's all you need. Vanessa spent several days thinking, weighing the risks. Stability versus the unknown. Boredom versus passion. In early March, she walked into Mr. Marles' office. I'm leaving. In a month, I'm going to run my own business. Her boss nodded. Good. I wish you luck. And if anything, doors are always open. You can come back if you want. Her last month flew by. Vanessa wrapped up projects, trained the new girl, said goodbye to colleagues. Ruth from the next department hugged her. You're brave. Not many people dare. In April, Vanessa officially became unemployed, or rather self-employed. She registered everything properly. Now she made jewelry full-time. The first 2 weeks were scary. Almost no orders. Vanessa panicked, convinced she'd made a mistake. But then the wave hit. Someone posted her work in a large online group, and the post went viral. Orders poured in. Vanessa worked from morning till night, lost track of time. Her hands ached, her back hurt, but she was happy. This was hers, her craft. Charlie helped. He brought materials when she didn't have time to shop. He photographed new pieces, helped her write better descriptions. "Thank you for supporting me," Vanessa said. "I'm happy you found yourself," he replied. Their relationship grew closer. They saw each other almost every day. Charlie stopped by after work. They drank tea and talked about everything. Sometimes they just sat in silence. Vanessa felt herself growing attached, deeply, yet she was afraid to admit it. The memory of Sylvester still stung. What if Charlie also turned out to be hiding something? What if he left? What if it all crashed again? One May evening, while they were walking through the park, Charlie stopped. "Vanessa, I need to tell you something." She froze. Here it comes, she thought. Something awful. Charlie hesitated. "I care about you. Have for a while. Since the first time I saw you at the library. But I didn't want to push or hurry things. I knew you needed time, and I'm willing to wait as long as you need. I just wanted you to know." Vanessa looked at him. His face was open, calm, honest. His eyes warm without a trace of deceit. "I care about you too," she whispered. "But I'm scared." "What are you scared of?" "Of being lied to again. Of being hurt." Charlie took her hand gently, carefully. "I can't promise everything will be perfect, but I can promise honesty. I won't lie. I won't play games. And if something ever goes wrong, I'll tell you directly. No secrets. Promise?" "I promise." Vanessa looked at their hands. Warm, steady, safe. "Okay," she said softly. "Let's try." Charlie smiled, leaned in, and kissed her. Gently, cautiously. Vanessa froze for a moment, then kissed him back. Her first kiss in 6 months. Her first kiss with someone new. They stood in the middle of the park, holding each other. Trees blooming around them, birds singing, families passing by. Just an ordinary May day. But for Vanessa, it was a new beginning. By summer, they were officially together. Charlie introduced her to his friends. Vanessa introduced him to her parents. Her mother approved immediately. "He's calm, hardworking. Looks like a good man. I like him." Her father nodded too. "Doesn't talk much. Speaks to the point. That's good." Charlie often stayed over at Vanessa's place, helping with orders when there were too many. They worked side by side, Vanessa making jewelry, Charlie sketching restoration plans. Warm, quiet, homey. In July, Vanessa realized she was pregnant. She'd been late, felt nauseous in the mornings, strange sensations in her body. She bought a test. 2 lines. Vanessa sat in the bathroom, staring at it. Pregnant. Charlie's child. They'd had only been together 3 months, way too soon. But instead of fear, she felt something else. A quiet joy. She wanted this baby. Charlie was at his place. Vanessa called him. "Can you come over? I need to tell you something." "Did something happen?" He sounded alarmed. "No, just come." He arrived 20 minutes later. Vanessa met him at the door and silently handed him the test. Charlie looked at it, then lifted his eyes to hers. "You're pregnant?" "Yes." He didn't say anything at first. A long silence. Vanessa waited, heart pounding. "What do you want?" He finally asked. "I want to keep it. And you?" Charlie pulled her into a hug. Tight, warm, almost crushing. "I want that too. Very much." Vanessa burst into tears. Relief, happiness, hormones, all at once. Charlie stroked her hair and kissed the top of her head. "It's going to be okay," he whispered. "We'll figure everything out. Together," Vanessa told her parents later that summer, when her belly had already started to show. Her mom gasped. "Vanessa, you're pregnant?" "A few months. Does Charlie know?" "Of course he knows. We're together. We're planning to get married." "When?" "After the baby's born. I don't want a wedding with a big belly. I want a real, beautiful one." Her mom hugged her tight. "Oh God, honey, you're going to be a mother, and I'm going to be a grandmother." Her father stayed quiet for a moment, then cleared his throat. "Charlie's a good guy. He won't leave. I can tell." "He won't, Dad." Charlie suggested they move in together. His apartment was small, a one-bedroom in the center, but cozy. Vanessa agreed. They moved her things and set everything up together. Vanessa kept working. Orders didn't stop. She made jewelry, shipped them out, got payments. Charlie insisted she take it easier. You're pregnant. You need to be careful. I'm fine, really, I feel great. Still, let me take over part of the work, packing, shipping. You just focus on creating. Vanessa agreed. With his help, everything became easier. They worked like a team. In September, when the leaves were turning yellow, they were walking in the park. Vanessa moved slowly, holding Charlie's hand. Her belly was big now. Heavy, a little awkward. Tired? Charlie asked. A little. Let's sit. They sat on a bench, the same one where Vanessa had once met the old man with the pigeons. The old man wasn't there, just pigeons waddling around. Do you think we'll handle this? Vanessa asked softly. The baby. We will, I'm sure. Why are you so sure? Because we both want this. That's what matters most. Vanessa leaned against him. Warm, steady, safe. With Charlie, she felt protected, not like with Sylvester. With Sylvester, everything had felt like an act, a performance. With Charlie, everything was real. That evening, they came home. Vanessa sat at the table, working on a new batch of earrings. Charlie was making dinner. He'd gotten pretty good at cooking simple meals, but delicious. Vanessa, he called from the kitchen. Do you remember that old woman at the station? Vanessa lifted her head. Of course. How could I forget? Have you seen her again? Once in New York, by chance. She said she'd been through something similar, that she tries to help others. It's a strange story. Very strange, but I'm grateful to her. If not for her, you would have married Sylvester, and you'd be miserable. And now I'm happy? Vanessa asked, almost teasing. She paused, looked at her belly, at their small apartment, at Charlie standing by the stove. Yes, she said softly, I'm happy, truly. That night, she dreamed of the old woman, standing at the station, smiling warmly, saying something Vanessa couldn't quite hear. Only the smile remained, kind, gentle. Vanessa woke in the middle of the night. Charlie slept beside her, breathing evenly. She placed a hand on her belly. The baby kicked strong, unmistakable. She smiled into the dark. Everything was going the right way. Her life was healing slowly, steadily. October was unusually warm. Vanessa and Charlie went to prenatal classes together. He didn't miss a single one. He sat next to her, listened carefully, asked questions. Other women looked at him with envy. Not all husbands were so involved. After one class, they stopped by a cafe. The same one where they'd met as just friends. Mrs. Burton greeted them with a bright smile. Vanessa, Charlie, come in, come in. Oh my, look at that belly. Soon, huh? In December. Vanessa sat by the window. Boy or girl? We don't know. We decided to keep it a surprise. Right choice. Back in my day, no one knew, and everything turned out fine. Mrs. Burton brought raspberry tea and sandwiches. Vanessa ate slowly, savoring the taste. Her appetite had been great lately. The doctor said everything was normal. The baby was growing well. Have you thought about names? Charlie asked. I have. If it's a boy, I like the name Matthew. If it's a girl, Elizabeth. Simple, pretty. I like those, he said. And you? Do you have any favorites? I like whatever you like, Charlie replied with a smile. Vanessa smiled. Charlie had always been like that, never arguing, never insisting on his way, just quietly supporting her choices. You're almost too perfect, she said. You never fight, never get angry. I get angry, he said. I just don't show it. Have you ever been angry at me? Charlie thought for a moment. Once, when you worked on orders until 3 a.m. while you were 8 months pregnant. I begged you to stop, and you didn't listen. I had to finish. You had to go to bed. You were barely standing, but I finished. Yes, and I was angry, but I didn't want to yell, so I walked into the other room to calm down. I'm sorry. I'm not upset anymore. Just promise you won't do that again. Your health matters more than any order. I promise. They finished their tea and went for a walk. Slowly, unhurriedly. Vanessa tired quickly now, but she liked walking. The doctor said it was good for her before birth. Outside, they ran into Ruth, Vanessa's former coworker. Vanessa, wow, look at that belly. When's the due date? In 2 months. How are you? How's your business? Great. Lots of orders. Keeping up. Good for you. And this must be your Charlie? Ruth looked him over with friendly curiosity. Yes, Charlie. This is Ruth. We used to work together. They exchanged greetings. Ruth asked about the wedding, their plans, the baby. Vanessa answered briefly. She didn't want to get into details. When they parted ways, Charlie asked, "Tired of all the questions?" "A bit. Everyone asks the same thing. When's the wedding? When's the baby coming? How are we managing?" "People are curious. That's normal." "I know. Sometimes I just want to be without explaining anything." Charlie put an arm around her shoulders. "Then let's just be. November brought the cold." Vanessa rarely left the house. Her belly was huge now. Moving was hard. She worked at her desk, made jewelry, fulfilled orders. Charlie handled everything outside groceries, post office, doctor visits. Her parents called every day. "Vanessa, how are you feeling? Maybe come stay with us? I'd help." "Mom, Charlie's helping here. We're fine." "Well, at least come here to give birth. Our hospital is good. The doctors are experienced. We'll deliver here. It's closer. Everything's ready." Her mom sighed but didn't push. Vanessa knew she was worried. First pregnancy, anything could happen. But Vanessa felt calm, strangely calm, almost numb. The doctors said it was hormones, her body preparing, shutting down unnecessary emotions. In the middle of November, Vanessa woke at night with a strange sensation. Her belly tightened, released, then tightened again. She lay still, listening to her body. Contractions, probably Braxton Hicks, but an hour later they grew stronger. Vanessa shook Charlie awake. "I think it's starting." He jumped up like someone set him on fire. "Starting? The birth? But it's early, 3 weeks before the due date." "First babies come early all the time. Get ready, we're going." He ran around the apartment, grabbing the hospital bag they'd packed weeks ago. Vanessa dressed calmly, timing her contractions. 8 minutes apart. Time to go. At the hospital, they admitted her quickly. Vanessa was examined, then taken to the pre-labor room. Charlie wasn't allowed in. He waited in the hallway. Vanessa lay on the bed and waited. The contractions grew stronger. First bearable, then painful, then nearly unbearable. Vanessa breathed the way they'd taught her in class. Counted, squeezed her fists, endured. The nurse checked her every hour. Slow dilation. Hang in there. Vanessa did. Hours crawled. The pain came in waves. She had thought she wouldn't scream, but she did. Quietly, through clenched teeth, but she screamed. After 12 hours, they moved her to the delivery room. The doctor was a woman in her mid-40s. Tired face, firm hands. "Come on, Vanessa. You're doing great. A little more." Vanessa pushed with everything she had. The world shrank to pain and effort. Nothing else existed. Then a cry, a sharp, thin, newborn cry. "A girl!" the doctor announced. "Congratulations." They placed a warm little bundle on Vanessa's stomach. Wet, red, screaming. Vanessa looked at her daughter, barely believing it was real. She was a mother. She had a daughter. "Elizabeth," she whispered. "Lizzie." They took the baby to clean and weigh her. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Healthy and full term, even though she arrived early. Vanessa was moved to a recovery room. She lay staring at the ceiling. Her whole body ached. Her head spun, but inside there was quiet joy. She'd done it. She'd given birth. It was over. Charlie came in an hour later. He looked shaken, eyes red. "How are you?" "I was so scared. I thought I was going crazy." "I'm okay. Tired, but okay." "Want to see your daughter?" "Daughter? We have a daughter?" "Yes, Elizabeth." Charlie burst into tears. He sat down beside her and cried openly. Vanessa stroked his hair. "It's okay," she whispered. "We did it." They brought Lizzie in for feeding. Vanessa took her into her arms. So tiny, so light, her little face wrinkled, fists clenched, eyes closed. Sleeping. Charlie watched without blinking. "Can I hold her?" "Of course." Vanessa carefully passed their daughter to him. Charlie held her against his chest and froze, staring at Lizzie like he was looking at a miracle. "She's so small." "Yeah, just a little bean." "Is that normal?" "The doctor said it is." Charlie gently rocked her, humming something soft. Vanessa watched him and knew she'd made the right choice. Charlie would be a good father, attentive, caring, not like Sylvester. She hadn't thought about him in a long time. She wondered what he was doing now. Married? Emma? Found some other naive girl to fool. It didn't matter. That life was gone. And the future was right here in Charlie's arms. Small, warm, breathing softly. They were discharged a few days later. Charlie arrived with a stroller he had bought, gray, stylish. Vanessa tucked Lizzie inside, wrapped her in a blanket, and they slowly headed home. The apartment greeted them with quiet. Charlie had cleaned beforehand, cooked food, set up the crib. Everything was ready. The first weeks were hard. Lizzie cried at night. Vanessa barely slept. Her body healed slowly. Charlie helped however he could, getting up at night, rocking the baby, changing diapers. Vanessa only breastfed. Her parents came a week later. Her mom gasped, scooping Lizzie up and kissing her. "My God, what a beauty! She looks just like you, Vanessa." "Looks like Charlie too. She's got his nose." Her dad held Lizzie awkwardly, afraid to hurt her. Vanessa smiled. He'd never been a gentle man, but now he melted right before her eyes. Her mom stayed a week, cooking, cleaning, rocking the baby while Vanessa slept. Charlie was there too. The three of them managed. When her mom left, things got harder. Vanessa and Charlie were alone with a newborn, learning as they went how to bathe her, how to calm her, how to understand her crying. Trial and error. By the end of December, Lizzie grew calmer, slept longer, cried less. Vanessa slowly returned to work, a little at a time, making jewelry while Lizzie napped. Charlie helped as always. For Christmas, they stayed home, just the three of them. A small table, some candles. Lizzie asleep in her crib. Vanessa and Charlie curled up on the couch, looking out the window at the falling snow. "A year ago, I had no idea life would look like this," Vanessa said. "That I'd be with you, that we'd have a baby. Life's unpredictable." Charlie kissed her temple. "Good thing it is. If you'd caught that train and married Sylvester, I don't even want to imagine. But you didn't. Fate made the choice for you. That old woman made the choice. Maybe that's the same thing." Vanessa fell quiet, thinking, maybe sometimes fate really did look like a little old woman at a train station. January brought freezing weather. Vanessa barely went outside. Lizzie was too small for long walks. Charlie took her out for short ones, while Vanessa stayed home working. Orders slowed down after the holidays. Vanessa didn't worry. This happened every year. Business would pick up again by spring. In February, when Lizzie turned 3 months old, Charlie suggested they get married. "Officially," he said. "City Hall. No big party, just us, our parents, and Lizzie. What do you think?" Vanessa thought about it. A wedding. A year ago, she dreamed of a white dress, guests, a huge celebration. Now it all felt unnecessary. What mattered was that they were together. Everything else was just details. "Let's do it. But not now. Let's wait for spring when it's warmer." Deal. They submitted the papers in March and got married in April. A warm, sunny day. Vanessa wore a simple white dress, Charlie a suit. Lizzie wore a tiny pink romper. Their parents acted as witnesses. The ceremony took 10 minutes. They signed, kissed, stepped outside, and took a photo by the entrance. Simple, quiet, no fuss. Afterward, they went to Vanessa's parents' house. Her mom had set a small table, homemade dishes. Nothing fancy. They ate, talked, toasted the newlyweds. Vanessa looked at Charlie, at Lizzie, at her parents, and felt happiness. Real happiness. Not the staged kind she would have had with Sylvester, but deep, peaceful, true. That evening they came home, put Lizzie to bed, sat on the couch. Charlie took her hand. "Now you're officially my wife. And you're my husband." Sounds strange. We'll get used to it. They sat quietly. Twilight deepened outside. Lizzie breathed softly in her crib. Vanessa rested her head on Charlie's shoulder. Warm. Calm. "You know what I'm thinking?" she asked. "What?" "How lucky I am that I missed that train. How lucky everything happened exactly the way it did. And if you hadn't missed it, I'd be miserable, living in a lie. I wouldn't have met you, wouldn't have had Lizzie." "So you believe in fate?" "I don't know. Maybe it's not fate. Maybe just luck. Or that old woman. Who knows? Would you want to see her again? To thank her?" "I would, but I doubt I ever will. She shows up when someone really needs her, and I don't need her anymore. I have everything now." Charlie kissed her. "We have everything now." Lizzie stirred and whimpered. Vanessa stood, picked her up. Lizzie quieted down immediately, pressing her tiny face into Vanessa's shoulder. Vanessa rocked her gently, humming a soft lullaby. Charlie watched from across the room. Vanessa saw his reflection in the window, calm expression, a small smile. They stayed like that for a long time. A family. Small, quiet, happy. May painted the town green again. Vanessa returned to full-time work. Lizzie had grown, slept better. Vanessa managed to care for the baby and fill orders. Charlie helped every evening. One Saturday, they were walking through the park with the stroller. the same park where Vanessa had once sat on a bench, thinking her life was ruined. Now she was here with her husband and their daughter. Life had turned a full 180. "Look," Charlie said, stopping. "That bench where we first really talked." Vanessa looked over. "Yeah, that one. Back then we talked about divorce, lies, pain, and now we're standing here as a family." "Let's sit," Charlie suggested. They sat down. Lizzie slept quietly in the stroller. Vanessa looked at the trees, the people, the birds. Everything felt familiar, ordinary, and somehow brand new. "Vanessa," Charlie said, taking her hand, "I want to thank you for being you, for giving us a chance, for Lizzie, for everything." Vanessa squeezed his hand. "No, thank you, for your patience, for understanding, for not rushing me, for giving me time to heal. Are the wounds healed?" "They are. The scars are there, but they don't hurt anymore. They just remind me of what I went through." "And what do they remind you of?" Vanessa thought for a moment. "That you can't build happiness on lies, that real love means honesty, that fate can be cruel but fair, and that sometimes losing something means finding something better." Charlie nodded. "Wise words. Life taught me." They sat a while longer, then continued their walk. Vanessa pushed the stroller. Charlie walked beside her. Just an ordinary family stroll on an ordinary weekend. But for Vanessa, it was happiness, simple, quiet, real. Summer passed in warm, pleasant chaos. Lizzie grew fast. At 6 months, she started rolling over. At 7, she sat up. At 8, she crawled. Vanessa could barely keep up. Their daughter was curious, always reaching for everything, crawling everywhere. The business grew too. Vanessa hired an assistant, Pamela, a young woman who handled packing and shipping. Vanessa focused only on creating the jewelry. It freed up time and made balancing work and motherhood easier. Charlie got promoted at the museum. Now he was the head restorer. More responsibility but better pay. They started saving for their own place. The one-bedroom apartment was getting too small for 3 people. In September, they found the perfect option, a 2-bedroom on the edge of town, nicely renovated, with a view of the park. They took out a mortgage, splitting the down payment half and half. "This is our home now," Charlie said as they stepped inside. "Our space." Vanessa looked around the empty rooms, bright, spacious. They could set it up however they wanted. The small room will be Lizzie's nursery. Lots of sunlight there, perfect for her. And the big one will be our bedroom with a little workspace for you. For you too, you work from home sometimes. They spent a month settling in, buying furniture, hanging curtains, organizing. Vanessa made jewelry in the evenings while Lizzie slept. Charlie handled the furniture assembling, moving, drilling. By late October, the apartment felt cozy. A nursery with soft pink wallpaper, a white crib, and shelves full of toys. A bedroom with light walls and a big bed. A living room with a couch, a TV, and a desk by the window. Vanessa often stood by that window, looking at the park. The trees changing color, the leaves falling. A year ago, she never could have imagined being here with her family in her own home. Lizzie started saying her first words, "Mama, Papa, gimme." Charlie wrote every new word down in a little notebook. Vanessa laughed. "Why do you need that?" "So we remember. When she's older, we'll show her, here were your first words. You sentimental man. What's wrong with that?" Vanessa hugged him. "Nothing. I love it." In November, her mom called. "Vanessa, we're having guests, Uncle Philip and his family. Come for the weekend." "It's been ages," Vanessa agreed. They drove over together. Her parents' house greeted them with warmth and the smell of pies. Her mom bustled in the kitchen. Her dad fussed with the wood stove. Uncle Philip, his wife, and their kids were already there. Everyone adored Lizzie, passing her from one pair of hands to another, kissing her, playing with her. Lizzie laughed, grabbed fingers, babbled excitedly. Later that evening, after the kids were asleep, the adults sat in the kitchen, drinking tea and talking. Uncle Philip discussed work, city news, life. Then he asked, "Vanessa, remember that fiancé of yours, Sylvester? Whatever happened to him?" Vanessa tensed. She hadn't expected the question. "No idea. I haven't checked." "I heard something," her father said, jumping in. "He and that Emma of yours got married. In June, they're already divorced." Lasted 3 months. Vanessa stared at her father. "Seriously?" "Seriously. A neighbor told me. Sylvester's drowning in debt now, his business collapsed. And Emma moved to another state. Just some new boyfriend." Vanessa was quiet for a moment. Hearing that felt strange. Sylvester and Emma, they got each other, but happiness clearly wasn't part of the deal. "I don't feel sorry for them. she said softly. They chose their path. And rightly so, her mom agreed. Everyone gets what they earn. Charlie squeezed Vanessa's hand under the table. She squeezed back. The pass was exactly where it belonged, behind her. The next day, while they were walking in the yard with Lizzie, their old neighbor Mrs. Clausen came over. Vanessa, long time no see. Oh, what a beautiful little girl. Looks just like you. Hello, Mrs. Clausen. I heard you married someone else. Not that Sylvester. Good thing you ran from him. I always told your mother I didn't trust that man. Cold eyes. Yeah, I left just in time. And good for you. So are you happy now? I am. Wonderful. And this one, she nodded at Charlie. He seems like a good man. Calm. Gentle with the baby. Vanessa smiled. Mrs. Clausen had always been straightforward, but warm-hearted. He's good. Really good. They headed back home for lunch. Her mom fed everyone until they were full, then Vanessa and Charlie packed up to leave. Come visit more often, her mom pleaded. I want to see my granddaughter. We'll come, Mom, I promise. On the drive back, Lizzie slept in her car seat. Vanessa sat beside Charlie, watching the window fields, forests, small towns, familiar views. What are you thinking about? Charlie asked. That life is strange. A year ago, I had no idea you'd be here, that Lizzie would be here, that we'd be driving home like a real family. And now you do. Now I do, and it feels right. December brought holiday hustle. Vanessa prepared for Christmas and finished the last of her orders. Holiday jewelry sold fast. She worked late, but she didn't feel tired. She loved it. Charlie set up a small Christmas tree. Lizzie kept trying to grab the ornaments. Charlie laughed and scooted her away. Too early for you, little one. You'll decorate when you're bigger, Lizzie squeaked in protest. Vanessa scooped her up and showed her the ornaments up close. Lizzie grabbed at them and tried to chew everything. Vanessa gently took them back and distracted her with something else. Ordinary parenthood, simple, warm. For Christmas, they stayed home again, just the three of them. A small dinner, candles lit. Lizzie didn't sleep through it this year. She sat in her high chair, banging a spoon on the table. Our girl is growing, Vanessa said. Growing, Charlie agreed. Almost a year old. We should throw her a birthday party. Invite our parents, some friends. Let's do it. She should know she's loved. They made wishes under the mistletoe. Vanessa wished for her family's health. Simple, but all that mattered. January was calm. Post-holiday orders slowed down. Vanessa rested, spent more time with Lizzie. Charlie took time off too. They walked, watched movies, played with their daughter. Then one day at the end of January, as they were walking home from the store, Vanessa saw a familiar figure. A woman in a gray coat, leaning on a cane, walking on the opposite side of the street. Vanessa froze. Wait, she said to Charlie. That's her. Who? That old woman, from a station. Vanessa hurried across the street. Charlie stood back with the stroller, watching. Wait! Vanessa caught up to her. Do you remember me? The woman turned. Calm face, kind eyes. I remember, child. How are you? Good, very good. I wanted to thank you for everything. There's nothing to thank for. You made your own choice. I only nudged you. But if not for you, I wouldn't have known the truth. I would have married someone who didn't love me. You would have found out. Sooner or later, truth always comes out. I just sped it up. Vanessa studied her face, wrinkles, gray hair under her scarf, tired eyes. Do you still help people? Sometimes, when I see someone who needs it. And everything you said about Emma's call, is that all true? The woman smiled faintly. True, she called me by accident, dialed the wrong number. I heard her talking to Sylvester about you, about their plan, about the wedding. And then I saw you at the station, crying, panicking. I realized you were the bride they were talking about, so I stepped in. Why? Because I could, and because I know what it's like to live in a lie. My life was like that. I don't want others to repeat my mistakes. Vanessa took her hand. Thank you, truly. You changed my life. You changed it yourself. I only gave you a push. Go on living, child. Be happy. Your family is beautiful. She nodded toward Charlie and Lizzie. Take care of each other. We will. The woman walked away. Vanessa stood watching her until she disappeared, then returned to Charlie. That was her? He asked. Yeah, that was her. Such a strange story. Very strange. But I'm glad it happened. They walked home. Lizzie sat in her stroller, playing with a toy. Vanessa watched her daughter and thought about how she would tell her this whole story one day. How her mom missed a train, met a mysterious old woman, learned the truth, ran from a false love, and found a real one. February was freezing. Vanessa stayed home, worked, took care of Lizzie. Charlie came back in the evenings. They had dinner together and watched cartoons with their daughter. Lizzie's first birthday was coming up. Vanessa started preparing early. She ordered a cake, decorations, invited guests. They celebrated on a Saturday. Her parents came, friends came, a few of Charlie's coworkers too. Everyone brought gifts, played with Lizzie, took pictures. Lizzie wore a pink dress with a bow on her head. She laughed, clapped, crawled between the guests. Vanessa watched her and felt proud. There she was, her daughter, healthy, cheerful, loved. When everyone left, Vanessa cleaned up, washed the dishes. Charlie put Lizzie to bed. Then they laid down themselves, wrapped in each other's arms. Tired? Charlie asked. Very, but the good kind of tired. It was a great day. It was... Lizzie was happy. You were happy too. I saw it. Vanessa nodded. You know, Charlie, sometimes I think about what would have happened if I'd caught that train a year and a half ago. If I'd married Sylvester. You think it would have been bad? Horrible. I'd be living a lie. Having a baby with someone who didn't love me. I'd be miserable. But you didn't. No. I was 10 minutes late. 10 stupid minutes that changed my whole life. Fate, or the old woman. Who knows? Charlie kissed her forehead. Doesn't matter who. What matters is that everything turned out right. Yes. Right. Vanessa closed her eyes. Tomorrow would bring new tasks, new joys. But right now, just quiet, warmth, peace. March brought the first thaw. Snow melted, patches of grass appeared. Vanessa started walking with Lizzie more often. The little girl was taking her first steps, holding onto her mother's hand. Charlie suggested they go somewhere for the weekend. Back to the estate they visited a year before. Remember? We liked it there. I remember. Let's go. Lizzie's old enough now, we'll manage. They went in April. The weather was warm, sunny. The estate welcomed them with green lawns, budding trees, blooming flowers. Lizzie toddled across the park, grabbing every blade of grass, every flower. Vanessa and Charlie walked beside her, holding her hands. An ordinary family on an ordinary stroll. It's nice here, Vanessa said. Very. Maybe when Lizzie's older, we'll travel more. Show her different places. Definitely. I want her to know the world, see beauty, grow up happy. She will. She has us. Charlie put his arm around Vanessa, and we have her. They stood in the middle of the park, holding each other, watching their daughter poke the ground with a stick. Vanessa laughed. She's just like me. Curious, and like me too. Stubborn. She'll be strong, independent, and happy. That's the most important. They returned home that evening. Lizzie fell asleep in the car, exhausted from the long walk. Vanessa carried her into the apartment and laid her in the crib. The little girl didn't even wake up. Vanessa stood over her, watching. Small, helpless dear. Her child. Her happiness. Charlie came up behind her and wrapped his arms around her. What are you thinking about? How much I love her. How scared I am that something might happen. Nothing will happen. We'll protect her. You sure? As much as anyone can be. We can't control everything, but we can give her love, care, and support. That's what matters, Vanessa nodded. He was right. You can't shield a child from everything, but you can give them a strong foundation, love that carries them through anything. May was warm and sunny. Vanessa spent a lot of time in the park with Lizzie. The girl now walked on her own, without help. She ran down the paths, laughed, fell, got up again. Vanessa watched her and remembered the person she'd been 2 years earlier, lost, betrayed, broken, sitting at a train station with no idea what to do next. And now she was here, with her daughter, her husband, her work, happy. One evening, as they sat on the balcony drinking tea, Charlie said, You know, sometimes I think about that old woman. Who she really was. Maybe just a kind woman who helps people. Or a guardian angel. Vanessa smiled. An angel in a gray coat with a cane. Sounds funny, but she helped you. Changed your life. Yes, she did. And I'm grateful, wherever she is now. They fell silent. Dusk settled outside. The city was drifting into sleep. Vanessa rested her head on Charlie's shoulder. Charlie, I'm happy. So am I. Do you think this will last forever? I don't know, but I'll do everything I can to make it last. I will too. They sat there wrapped around each other watching the city. An ordinary evening, an ordinary life. But for them, it was everything. Another year and a half passed. Lizzie was 2.5 now. She talked nonstop, ran around the apartment, demanded attention every minute. Vanessa could barely keep up. The business had grown. Vanessa no longer worked alone. She had 3 assistants. She opened a small shop downtown. Tiny, barely 200 square feet, but hers. With a sign, a display window, a counter. Charlie helped with the renovation. They painted the walls together, set up shelves, hung lighting. The opening was simple. Her parents came, friends, a few regular customers. Vanessa stood at the entrance, hardly believing it was real. Her shop, her dream. Proud of yourself? Charlie asked. Very. And you should be. You earned this. The shop did well. People stopped by, browsed, bought things. Vanessa hired a part-time salesperson and came in after lunch. Mornings she spent with Lizzie. That summer they went to the beach, their first real family vacation. They rented a small house by the shore. 2 weeks of heat, sand, and salty water. Lizzie squealed with delight every time the waves touched her feet. Vanessa and Charlie lay on the beach holding hands, watching their daughter. We need to do this more often, Vanessa said. We will. Every summer. Promise? A promise. And they kept it. The next summer, the sea again. And the year after that too. It became a tradition. One autumn day, while Vanessa was walking with Lizzie through the park, she noticed a familiar figure sitting on a bench. A man with a familiar posture, a familiar jacket. Vanessa came closer. The man turned. Sylvester. He looked older. Thinner, lines on his face, gray at the temples. His eyes were dull, tired. Vanessa stopped 2 steps away. Lizzie clung to her hand. Vanessa! Sylvester stood up. Hello. Hello. They stood in silence. Lizzie pressed against her mother's leg, studying the stranger. Is that your daughter? Sylvester asked. Yes. She's beautiful. Looks like you. Thank you. Another silence, awkward, heavy. Vanessa, I wanted. He hesitated. I wanted to apologize. For everything. I acted horribly. You didn't deserve that. Vanessa studied him. Was he sincere or playing again? But his eyes held exhaustion, not calculation. It's been 3 years, Sylvester. I know. But I still wanted to say it. I was a fool. I chased money, convenience, and I lost something important. You. Vanessa gave a short, dry laugh. You never had me. You didn't love me. No, he admitted. But I respected you. Valued you. I just realized it too late. What about Emma? Divorced. 3 months after the wedding. She found someone richer. Left. Sorry to hear that. Don't be. We both got what we deserved. Vanessa nodded. Yes. We did. Well, good luck, Sylvester. And you, are you happy? Very. Then I'm glad. Forgive me, if you can. Vanessa thought for a moment. Forgive him? She hadn't felt anger toward him in a long time. The past belonged to the past. I forgive you, she said simply. Go live your life. Sylvester nodded and walked away. Vanessa watched him disappear, then picked Lizzie up and headed home. That evening, she told Charlie, I ran into Sylvester today. In the park, totally by accident. And? He apologized. Said he'd been a fool. Did you forgive him? Yes. Why hold a grudge? It doesn't make my life better. Charlie pulled her close. You're wise. I'm just happy. Happy people don't hold on to anger. Winter brought snow and frost. Vanessa prepared for Christmas. Orders flooded in non-stop. The shop stayed open late, but she managed. She had a team now. Her assistants, her salesperson, and Charlie in the evenings. Together they could handle anything. For Christmas, they went to her parents' house, a big family gathering. Her mom, dad, her brother with his family visiting from another state, Uncle Philip and his wife, everyone together around a big table. Vanessa sat and watched her family. They laughed, ate, told stories. Lizzie ran between the adults, grabbed candies, demanded attention. Charlie sat beside her, holding her hand under the table. It's good, he whispered. Very good, Vanessa agreed. Her father stood and raised his glass. I want to say something. To family, to the fact that we're together, to the fact that we have each other, to happiness. Everyone raised their glasses and clinked them. Vanessa looked at her father and thought about how 3 years ago he tried to marry her off to pay a debt. But she didn't feel anger anymore. He'd wanted the best for her. He just chose the wrong path. And in the end, everything turned out right. After midnight, when the children were asleep and the adults gathered in the kitchen, her mother asked, Vanessa, are you happy? Yes, Mom. Very. And you don't regret it? That the wedding fell apart back then? It was the best thing that could have happened. Fate, her mother sighed. It always knows better than we do. Vanessa thought about the old woman at the station, the crumpled paper with the phone number, the call that flipped her whole life. Fate or coincidence, miracle or accident, it didn't matter. What mattered was that she was here with her family, with a job she loved, with a future ahead of her. In spring, Vanessa found out she was pregnant again. Charlie was thrilled. Lizzie is going to have a little brother or sister. I hope we can handle two. We can. We can handle anything. And they did. Their son was born in November. They named him Matthew. Lizzie was delighted with her little brother. She insisted on holding him, kissed him, showed him her toys. Life became even busier. 2 kids, work, home. Sometimes Vanessa collapsed from exhaustion, but she was happy. Charlie helped, as always. He got up at night, changed diapers, rocked Matthew. They were a team, a real team. 2 more years passed. Vanessa stood by the window of her shop, looking outside. Spring sunshine, people walking, life moving on. A familiar figure walked in, an elderly woman in a gray coat, leaning on a cane. Vanessa froze. "Hello, dear girl," the woman smiled. "Hello," Vanessa approached. "I haven't seen you in so long. Time has passed. You've changed." "Yes, a lot. For the better. I can see you're happy." "Very. Thank you for everything." The woman shook her head. "You built your own life. I only gave you a chance to see the truth, but without you, I wouldn't have known. I would have gotten married. I would have been miserable. You would have found out. Truth always comes out. I only sped it up." Vanessa took the woman's hand and squeezed it. "Still, thank you. Truly." The woman looked around at the shelves of jewelry, the display case, the photos on the wall of Vanessa with her children, with Charlie, with her parents. "You have a beautiful life," she said. "Take good care of it." Every day, the woman nodded and headed for the door. At the entrance, she turned back. "Live happily, Vanessa. You deserve it." And she left. Vanessa stood by the window and watched her walk down the street, slowly, leaning on her cane, until she disappeared around the corner. Guardian angel? Coincidence? Fate? It didn't matter. What mattered was that one day, Vanessa missed a train, and that train carried away her old life. And her new life began on a cold station bench with a crumpled piece of paper and a phone number. And this new life was real. That evening, Vanessa came home. Charlie was cooking dinner. Lizzie was drawing at the table. Matthew crawled across the floor grabbing toys. An ordinary evening, an ordinary family. Vanessa stopped in the doorway and looked at them. Her family, her happiness. Charlie turned and smiled. "How was your day?" "Good." Vanessa kicked off her shoes and walked into the kitchen. "Really good." She hugged him from behind, resting her cheek against his back. "I love you." "I love you too." Lizzie ran over and hugged Vanessa's legs. "Mom, look what I drew." Vanessa took the drawing. The family, mom, dad, a girl, a boy. They were holding hands, the sun shining above. "It's beautiful." Vanessa stroked her daughter's hair. "Really beautiful." And it was true. Life was beautiful. Simple, ordinary, but beautiful. Exactly the way it was meant to be. Vanessa sat down at the table. Charlie poured tea and sliced bread. The kids played nearby. An ordinary evening, an ordinary family. And Vanessa was happy. Truly, deeply, quietly happy. She had missed a train 5 years earlier, and it was the best thing that ever happened to her. Because sometimes losing something means finding something better. And finding something real means finally living. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to keep bringing you new and captivating stories every day. You can already find our next story on the main page. We wish you all the very best and lots of happiness in your life.